Come in, if you dare. Welcome to a world of the fantastic and the macabre. Welcome to Ghost Stories YYC. Prepare yourself for a tale of terror. Written by Gary McMillan, with art by Gary McMillan. Red Harvest. Oh, you yummy grubber. Come here, you grubber. Yes, you are what I want, all silky milky. Ooh, hush, slowly. And got you! And so it was that the pale green grubber was caught. All that had been needed was an outstretched hand and a teasing voice. The beast had been easily lured in, as they always were, and had stretched out its own hand to make contact. Then, at the right moment, it only took a sudden darting grasp around the grubber's giant finger, and that was that. Its huge round eyes remained blank. Not a yelp or even a whimper came from its dainty lips. It was a big one, this grubber, its hands the size of sit leaves. It towered above on two sturdy legs, its hairy shoulders slumped in resignation. In its sudden captivity, it stared down passively at its tiny captor, waiting for direction. Now it could be simply led by the hand to wherever it was meant to go. Usually, a large grubber was taken to the stone tree near the outer lodges and held there for the harvesters. The stone tree was tall enough for them to climb up and easily do the cutting. But that wouldn't happen until more grubbers were brought in. The harvesting would begin when the sun dropped nearer to the horizon. In the meantime, the people were busy getting ready. Females prepared the fire mounds by sending the new males out to gather tar fronds. Old males singled out younglings and sat them down for ritual braiding of their long golden body hair. An occasional yelp rang out as hair was tugged sharply to get someone to sit still. It was important for them to look good for their part in tending the grubbers during the harvest. The murmur of excited voices filled the air. "Twist my hairs! Look at all the grubbers!" And "Goody, goody for the red harvest!" And "I can't wait! It's been so long!" The whispering sound of metal sliding on stone could be heard as long blades were sharpened. Feet pattered about. There was movement everywhere with all of the tasks and errands. The growing collection of impassive grubbers stood around the stone tree. What did a grubber think about? No one knew. It probably wasn't much. They were easy to catch, and there always seemed to be enough of them about. One reached up a hand to scratch an ear. Grubbers were a lot like people in appearance, but were much larger, and a lot stupider. The sun slid closer to the hills beyond the village. A few clouds floated high above in the pale sky. A drum pounded, followed by a shout to start the evening. There was a loud frantic scurrying towards the stone tree and the grubbers. "It was going to be a good crop tonight," a voice boomed out from up in the stone tree. It was the top harvester. He held a flickering blade in his blue hand. "There will be lots for everyone, so you can all settle down." He waved over toward a golden-braided youngling tending the largest grubber. "Bring that one first. Let us begin." With a blank look in its eyes, the tallest of the grubbers was edged near the stone tree so that its throat was even with the top harvester's waist. With one hand grasping the tangled hair on top of the creature's head, the harvester held his blade high in the other hand. Then, with a practiced swoop, he brought it down just above the scalp under the other hand and shaved off a long skein of ruby red hair. The crowd cheered and the shaving continued. The grubber's eyes rolled to watch the crimson cascade. The people surged forward to catch the soft bounty. It would be used to line sit leaves and bed pits. It would be used to weave into their golden braids. Some would even be spun into tiny rolls and set to smoldering for their rich aroma. After the first grubber had its entire head, back, and flanks shaved, it was set loose and chased away by its attendant youngling. Now the other harvesters set to work on the rest of the grubbers from various branches of the stone tree. Soon there were bright red mounds of hair everywhere, and the people began to sing happily as they steadily gathered it up. It was agreed by all that this had been one of the best red harvests ever.